what happens if you get sick? It's a scary question, isn't it? For most of my customers, and most of the tradies and builders who come to me, at least at first, the answer to that question is not very pretty. A day or two is no problem, really. You'll get by. Most of your businesses can survive man flu, right? And if you set things up or work a bit while you're away, most of your businesses can survive a holiday as well. You can go on holiday. You might have to do some work while you're away, but you can keep things going. You can keep people going and the rest of it. Mine's a bit the same. I'm the only coach right now, so if I'm sick, no one's getting coached, are they? But my business will survive a holiday and a few days if I'm sick. I can shuffle people around if I'm sick or miss a few days, and if I have a holiday, my customers are understanding. They want them too, right? But real sickness would be a challenge for me and for most of the people who come to me. Most of my clients and me are on a bit of a plan to make our businesses less vulnerable like this, right? And the reason I'm bringing it up today is it's just happened to somebody, right? It's just happened to somebody who was about to start coaching. Right? We've been talking for a little while. They came to my last workshop. They said, we'll start in Feb, John. We're going, after Christmas, and we're going on holiday after to America. It's going to be great. After that, we're going to start. Right? We became friends, a bit like you do, So, what we do often in my business anyway. So, of course, I've called them up to set the coaching up for Feb, because it nearly is, and said, how was Christmas? All cheerful and happy, expecting the usual kind of, pleasant conversation about what a break they had, and got fucking terrible, actually. I was a bit surprised, taken aback. And of course, I asked what had gone on. And what's happened is, after our workshop in November, they've gone to visit family. He, the main guy, it's a team of 3 people, wife, husband, and grown-up son. He's fallen sick. He's had a ruptured bowel, and he's got sepsis, and he nearly died. He came quite close to death. Major surgery saved him, and he's okay, which is why he sounded cheerful before I said how it was Christmas. But he was in hospital for weeks. He's still not properly back at work. He's back at work and talking, but he's not allowed to lift more than half a kilogram or something in weight. And it's a physical job, They make glass shower screens, so he has to lift heavy shit, so he can't do that part of his job still. And it's late January now. So he's been out of action for 6, 7, 8 weeks, and he's going to be at part capacity for somewhat longer. And his wife and son spent Christmas trying to look after him and trying to do all the work that was scheduled for Christmas. So it's been very stressful for them, right? And they've managed to get most of the work done. They think they're going to catch up to the backlog of work reasonably soon, but they've done no marketing and no sales work. So now, of course, they're anxious about an upcoming quiet period, and also concerned that their builders, because it's subcontract work for builders, are going to be worried about, reliability of supply and might go looking elsewhere for the shower screens, the glasswork. So it's had an impact. His sickness has had a significant impact on their business. Obviously, they've put the coaching off for a bit. And we laughed, and they said, if only, John, we'd built all our systems and had all our systems in place. And we laughed because, of course, that's what they've joined the coaching to do. So it has a big impact, and it made me think about how vulnerable a business is, mine included, to the key person, if you like, or one of the key people, being unable to work, having to be absent, being sick, wanting a decent holiday, something, right, for any longer than a short period. And it's, most of our businesses, while we're still young businesses, are very dependent on us and won't continue for very long if something like that happens. Now, I'm thinking about how I can reduce my business's dependency on me. And I think I want to encourage you to do the same, right? Think about how dependent on you it is and how to reduce that dependency. So if you do need to take an absence, or if you want to take a nice long holiday, how can it cope without you coming back to having no money, or without you coming back to having no business or no customers because of all gone elsewhere or something terrible, right? And there's 2 things you need to focus on, I think. One is the systems, like I was just saying. You need to have documented systems for how to do everything, and you need to be training people in how to follow them, right? So that if you're not there, they know what to do, right? Systems for how to do the work, and systems for how the information gets shared, what needs to be ordered for this job. So you need to have stuff written down and not just in your head. You need to be using job management systems like ServiceMate or Tradie or Simpro or BuildExact or BuilderTrend, all those ones, And you need to be using them properly and putting the information in there so that if you suddenly fall sick, stuff's written. Somebody else can look in the place, find the information and continue the work. They know what to do because there's a system. They know what to do because the information pertinent to a particular job is in the system. And they've been trained a bit. You've spoken about what has to happen. They can look up the procedures and refresh themselves if you train them a while ago, right? So that's the one thing. Systems and recording information, writing stuff down. And the second thing is grow a bit. You need to grow enough so that there are people there all the time, right? So that if you're absent, they can take over. So you need to have more than just you, right? If it's just you and the apprentice, it's going to be difficult, right? But if there's 5 or 6 or 10 of you and somebody working in the office as well, it's quite likely you have got somebody who can step in, who you can train, who can spend the time to learn and cover for you if you're not well or if you're away. So that's my plan. My systems documentation is going quite well. I need to grow a bit more so that we can have more than one coach, so that if I'm away, there are people who can cover and look after my customers. And I think you should be doing the same thing. I think you should be considering, anyway, following that same path. Systematizing and growing. They go hand in hand. Of course, I can help. That's my job. I'm a business coach for tradies and builders, and I would like to help you. If you think you'd like me to help you, you know what to do, don't you? Book a 10-minute chat. Talk to me in real life on a phone for 10 minutes about whether business coaching is right for you, or come to my next Tools Down workshop and watch me in action for a couple of days and see if my coaching is the right kind of coaching for you. See ya.